Okay, so let's be honest. How many of us actually spring out of bed feeling totally refreshed
Yeah.
and, ready to tackle the day?
Right.
I know I don't always.
Yeah.
And you know what? It might actually have something to do with what we're eating for dinner.
Interesting.
You heard that right. Today we are doing a deep dive into the surprising link between dinner and sleep,
Right.
using a fascinating expert talk on sleep and nutrition as our guide.
Yeah, it's more connected than I think people realize.
Yeah.
This expert makes a compelling case that just tweaking your dinner routine
Uh-huh.
might be the key to unlocking better sleep.
I'm all in. Let's uncover the expert's best tips.
Okay.
See if we can turn those late-night cravings into a recipe for truly restful sleep.
Absolutely.
So what I find really fascinating is this idea of reparative sleep that the
Yeah.
expert keeps mentioning. It sounds kind of crucial,
Mm-hmm.
but what's actually happening in our bodies when we're in deep sleep?
It's like a nightly tune-up, but on a cellular level. During deep sleep, our bodies shift into repair mode.
Okay.
Your immune system gets a boost. Your metabolism resets, digestion improves.
Wow.
Even your brain gets a chance to clear out waste products and consolidate memories.
Ah,
And get this, studies have shown that during deep sleep,
okay.
the glymphatic system in your brain kicks into high gear,
What?
flushing out toxins like beta amyloid,
Okay.
which is linked to Alzheimer's disease.
Wow. So it's not just about feeling less groggy in the morning.
Right.
Deep sleep is actually protecting our long-term health.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I'm even more curious about this dinner sleep connection.
Yeah.
It's like, we all know a heavy, greasy meal right before bed is a bad idea.
Yeah.
But why exactly is that?
Well, a late, heavy, or highly refined dinner
Uh-huh.
can throw your metabolism and hormones out of whack,
Okay.
making it much harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
Okay.
Think about it. You're trying to wind down for the night,
Yeah.
but your body is busy digesting a huge, complex meal.
So if I'm picturing a giant plate of pasta
Yeah.
and a couple glasses of wine at 9 p.m.,
Uh-huh.
that's probably not setting me up for sleep success.
Exactly. And it's not just about the quantity of food.
Yeah.
The type of food matters, too.
Okay.
Highly processed foods, sugary treats, and excessive alcohol are particularly problematic
Uh-huh.
because they cause those dreaded blood sugar spikes and crashes.
Okay, that makes sense. It's like my body is revving up for a sugar rush
Right.
when it should be powering down for the night.
Exactly.
So is there a specific time frame we should be aiming for
Yeah.
between dinner and bedtime?
The expert recommends the 3-hour rule.
Okay.
That is aiming for at least 3 hours between finishing dinner and hitting the hay.
Okay.
This gives your body ample time to digest and clear out those stimulating hormones,
Mm-hmm.
like ghrelin,
Okay.
before you try to sleep.
Yeah.
This prevents indigestion
Okay.
and allows your body to focus on producing sleep-inducing hormones,
Uh-huh.
like melatonin.
3 hours, I'll admit, with work family. And sometimes wanting a social life that sounds a little ambitious.
Yeah.
Is that something you can realistically work into a busy schedule?
It might require some planning,
Okay.
but think of it as an investment in your sleep and your health.
Okay.
Even if you can't always manage a full 3 hours,
Yeah.
every extra minute counts.
Yeah.
Maybe start by shifting your dinner time by just 30 minutes earlier.
Uh-huh.
See how it impacts your sleep.
Okay, I can definitely try that. I'm starting to see how these small tweaks can add up.
Yeah.
So we're aiming for at least 3 hours between dinner and bedtime.
Yes.
But what about the food itself?
Yeah.
Are there specific things we should be avoiding or focusing on at dinner time to promote better sleep?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's ditch the late-night sugar rush and swap it for a sleep-promoting dinner plate.
Okay.
Think about foods that offer sustained energy without overtaxing your system.
Okay. So what are we talking about here? What should our ideal dinner look like if we're
Yeah.
aiming for a good night's sleep?
The expert highlights 3 key components:
Okay.
healthy fats, lean protein, and plenty of fiber-rich vegetables.
Okay. So we're ditching the processed stuff
Right.
and loading up on the good stuff.
Exactly.
That actually sounds pretty delicious.
It is.
What are some go-to meals that fit this bill?
There are so many options.
Okay.
A salmon fillet with roasted vegetables and quinoa is a great choice.
Okay.
Or how about a lentil soup with a dollop of Greek yogurt?
Hmm.
Even a simple salad with grilled chicken or tofu avocado.
Yeah.
And a variety of colorful veggies can be incredibly satisfying and sleep-promoting.
That sounds amazing. I actually love a big salad with avocado egg
Nice.
and either seafood chicken or fish.
Excellent choice.
Yeah.
You've got the healthy fats, lean protein, and fiber all covered.
I'm feeling pretty good about my salad game now.
Good.
Speaking of protein, I'm curious about red meat.
Yeah.
It's nutritious, but I've heard it can sometimes interfere with sleep.
Uh-huh.
Is there any truth to that?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Red meat, while a good source of protein and iron,
Uh-huh.
can actually stimulate the immune system,
Okay.
making it more of a daytime food.
Interesting.
This immune stimulation can make it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep.
So steak and eggs for breakfast. Got it.
Hmm.
But in all seriousness, that's fascinating.
It is.
I never thought about the timing of specific foods like that.
It's all about understanding how different foods interact with our body's natural rhythms and processes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're being mindful of what we eat and when we eat it.
Right.
What else can we do in the hours leading up to sleep to set ourselves up for a good night's rest?
This is where the idea of romanticizing sleep comes in.
Okay.
It's about shifting our mindset
Huh?
and treating sleep as a luxurious experience,
Okay.
not just a chore we have to check off our list.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
So how do we actually romanticize sleep?
Think about it like setting the stage for a special occasion.
Okay.
You wouldn't blast harsh overhead lights
Mm-hmm.
and crank up the heavy metal music if you were trying to create a romantic atmosphere, right?
Definitely not.
The same principle applies to sleep.
Okay.
We need to create a sensory experience
Mm-hmm.
that signals to our minds and bodies that it's time to relax and unwind.
So what are some specific things we can do to create this sleep-inducing atmosphere?
Lighting is key.
Okay.
Remember, blue light from our devices suppresses melatonin production,
Right.
which is a crucial hormone for regulating our sleep-wake cycle.
Yes.
Switching to warmer, dimmer lighting in the evenings is essential.
I've heard that red light is particularly good for sleep. Is there any truth to that?
Absolutely. Red light has the least impact on melatonin production.
Okay.
In fact, studies have shown that exposure to red light in the evening can increase melatonin production
Wow.
by up to 50%, leading to quicker sleep onset and better sleep quality.
Wow.
So using red light bulbs or lamps in your bedroom could be incredibly helpful.
That's amazing. I've been using blue blocking glasses in the evenings.
Yeah.
But I might have to invest in some red light bulbs too.
What about other senses?
Yeah.
Can those play a role in creating our sleep sanctuary? Absolutely. Think about what feels calming and relaxing to you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a soothing scent like lavender or chamomile.
Okay.
You could use essential oils in a diffuser or even just spray some lavender linen spray in your pillows.
I love that. It's like creating a spa-like experience in your own bedroom.
Exactly. And sound can be incredibly powerful too.
Yeah.
Some people find white noise or nature sounds very calming.
Mm-hmm.
Others prefer complete silence.
Okay.
Experiment and see what works best for you.
I've recently discovered binaural beats. Have you heard of those?
Of course. They use specific frequencies to help induce relaxation and sleep.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting research emerging about their potential benefits.
Oh, cool.
For example, a study published in the Journal of Alternative and Complementary Medicine
Okay.
found that listening to binaural beats for 30 minutes before bedtime significantly improves sleep quality in participants
Okay.
with insomnia.
Wow, that's impressive. It sounds like there's a whole world of sleep-enhancing tools and techniques out there.
There is.
I'm really starting to rethink my whole bedtime routine.
Good.
So we've talked a lot about lighting and sound,
Right.
but what about temperature?
Yes.
You mentioned keeping the bedroom cool,
Uh-huh.
but is there an ideal temperature range?
There is.
Okay.
Most experts recommend keeping the bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit
Okay.
for optimal sleep.
Okay.
There's a scientific reason for this.
Okay.
When we sleep, our core body temperature naturally drops.
Mm-hmm.
A cooler room helps facilitate this process, promoting deeper, more restful sleep.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
It's like our bodies need that signal that it's time to wind down.
exactly.
So we're creating a calming atmosphere with lighting, sound, and temperature.
Right.
But what about our actual pre-sleep routine? What are some good practices to incorporate
Yeah.
into the hour or two before bed?
Consistency is key here.
Okay.
Aim to establish a relaxing routine that you can follow most nights of the week.
What are some examples of activities that can be part of a good pre-sleep routine?
Reading a book as long as it's not too stimulating.
Okay.
Taking a warm bath, gentle stretching, listening to calming music,
Mm-hmm.
meditation, or even just spending some time journaling or reflecting on your day
Okay.
can all help signal to your body and mind that it's time to transition into sleep mode.
I love the idea of incorporating some mindfulness practices into my evening routine.
Yeah.
I've been experimenting with meditation lately, and it's been surprisingly helpful for calming my mind before bed.
It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Even just 5 or 10 minutes of mindful breathing can make a big difference
Yeah.
in reducing stress and anxiety,
Hmm.
which, as we know, often interfere with sleep.
And I imagine that journaling could be a good way to process any lingering thoughts or worries
Exactly.
that might be keeping you up at night.
It's about getting those thoughts out of your head and onto paper,
Yeah.
so they're not swirling around in your mind when you're trying to sleep.
So we've covered a lot of ground here,
We have?
from creating a relaxing environment to establishing consistent habits. I'm feeling much more informed, but I'm also realizing that there's a lot more to good sleep
Yeah.
than I initially thought.
Complex.
What about the actual act of falling asleep?
Yeah.
Any tips for those of us who struggle to drift off?
This is where sleep hygiene principles come in handy.
Okay.
Maintaining a regular sleep schedule,
Uh-huh.
even on weekends, is crucial
Okay.
for regulating your body's natural sleep-wake cycle.
So are we talking about like going to bed and waking up at the same time every day?
Exactly.
Hmm.
Even if you didn't get the best sleep the night before,
Really? Even on the weekends?
especially on the weekends.
Okay, you're making me rethink my weekend sleep-in routine.
It's about retraining your body to follow a regular rhythm.
So consistency is key. What else should we keep in mind?
It's not just about when you go to bed,
Uh-huh.
but also when you wake up.
Okay.
Aim for a consistent wake-up time,
Okay.
even if you didn't get the best sleep the night before.
Okay.
I know this might sound counterintuitive,
Oh.
but it's about retraining your body to follow a regular rhythm.
So we're talking about establishing a consistent sleep schedule,
Yes.
creating a relaxing bedtime routine, and optimizing our sleep environment. This is a lot to take in,
It is.
but I'm sure we'll cover it all.
Very well.
I'm already feeling more empowered to take control of my sleep. I can't wait to try some of these techniques.
Excellent.
Any parting words of wisdom before we wrap up part 1 of this deep dive?
Absolutely. If you find yourself tossing and turning for more than 20 minutes,
Oh, I am so guilty of that.
we've all been there.
Yeah.
But it's actually more helpful to get out of bed
Okay.
and do something relaxing like reading or listening to calming music.
Okay.
And then go back to bed when you feel sleepy.
That makes so much more sense than doom scrolling on my phone,
Much better.
which I know is a big sleep no-no.
Yes.
So much of what we've talked about tonight has really been about shifting our mindset around sleep.
Uh-huh.
It's not just about ticking off boxes on a sleep hygiene checklist, but about truly understanding how our choices and habits impact our sleep quality.
Absolutely.
And I think this is where the connection between dinner and sleep becomes even more fascinating.
I agree. Tell me more about this deeper connection. I think when we eat a balanced, nourishing dinner at a reasonable hour, we're essentially sending a message of self-care to our bodies.
I love that analogy. It's like we're saying, hey, I respect you enough to fuel you properly and give you time to digest and rest.
Exactly. And when we create a calming bedtime routine, we're further reinforcing that message of self-care.
Okay.
We're slowing down, disconnecting from the busyness of the day,
Uh-huh.
and allowing our minds and bodies to unwind.
It's almost like a ritual of self-love, a way to honor our need for rest and rejuvenation.
It really is. And when we approach sleep with this mindset, we're more likely to prioritize it,
Okay.
to make those small but powerful changes that can lead to profound improvements in our sleep quality and overall well-being.
I have to say, this whole conversation has been incredibly eye-opening. I'm feeling so inspired to make some changes to my own dinner and sleep routine.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, it's not about being perfect.
Yeah.
It's about progress, not perfection.
So true. If our listeners could take away just one thing from this deep dive, what would you want it to be?
If you could improve just one aspect of your dinner tonight to sleep better, what would it be? Ask yourself that question, and I think you'll find the answers within reach.
I love that. It really challenges us to think critically about our current habits and make even the smallest of changes.
Right.
Whether it's shifting your dinner time, swapping out a sugary dessert for a piece of fruit, or simply dimming the lights an hour before bed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every small step counts.
Yeah.
Remember, you have the power to create the conditions for restful sleep.
That's such an empowering message. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the surprising connection between dinner and sleep. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, from understanding the science of sleep to practical tips for creating a sleep-promoting dinner routine and bedtime ritual. But ultimately, the most important takeaway is this: you have more control over your sleep than you might realize. By making conscious choices about how you nourish your body and prepare for sleep, you can unlock the restorative power of a truly good night's rest. Sweet dreams, everyone.
I think when we eat a balanced, nourishing dinner at a reasonable hour, We're essentially sending a message of self-care to our bodies.
I love that analogy, like we're saying, hey, I respect you enough to fuel you properly and give you time to digest and rest.
Exactly. And when we create a calming bedtime routine, we're further reinforcing that message of self-care. We're slowing down, disconnecting from the busyness of the day, and allowing our minds and bodies to unwind.
It's almost like a ritual of self-love, a way to honor our need for rest and rejuvenation.
It really is. And when we approach sleep with this mindset, we're more likely to prioritize it, to make those small but powerful changes that can lead to profound improvements in our sleep quality and overall well-being.
This whole conversation has been incredibly eye-opening. I'm feeling so inspired to make some changes to my own dinner and sleep routine.
That's fantastic to hear. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about progress, not perfection.
So true. If our listeners could take away just one thing from this deep dive, what would you want it to be?
If you could improve just one aspect of your dinner tonight to sleep better, what would it be? Ask yourself that question, and I think you'll find the answer is within reach.
I love that. It really challenges us to think critically about our current habits and make even the smallest of changes, whether it's shifting our dinner time or swapping out a sugary dessert for a piece of fruit or simply dimming the lights an hour before bed.
Exactly. Every small step counts. Remember, you have the power to create the conditions for restful sleep.
That's such an empowering message. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the surprising connection between dinner and sleep. We've covered a lot of ground tonight, from understanding the science of sleep to practical tips for creating a sleep-promoting dinner routine and bedtime ritual. But ultimately, the most important takeaway is this: you have more control over your sleep than you might realize. By making conscious choices about how you nourish your body and prepare for sleep, you can unlock the restorative power of a truly good night's rest. Sweet dreams, everyone.